Fox News. Breaking news.
Governor J.B. Pritzker is melting down on social media, accusing President Trump of lying to Americans and sticking taxpayers with a $1 billion bill for the new White House Ballroom. But the facts tell a very different story. The president made it clear from the start that the huge chunk of the project would come from private dollars. Now the attacks are flying fast and furious from the usual suspects. So why would Pritzker go this hard? What's he really trying to hide? See, the ballroom battle just escalated into a full-blown political brawl, and the details matter more than ever for the safety of the White House itself. See, the fight hits every American right in the wallet and the security of their nation's capital. Pritzker wants you to believe that Trump broke a promise and left you holding $1 billion tab for what he calls a vanity project. But the reality shows private patriots covering the ballroom costs while separate funding handles critical military and safety upgrades. That distinction protects the president after the dangerous security failures exposed during the White House Correspondents Dinner. Communities across the country understand the difference between wasteful spending and necessary infrastructure. Illinois residents already know the sting of paying for political favorites, including Pritzker family hotel upgrades with their own ballroom. The stakes are trust in leadership and protection for America's symbols of freedom and refusing to let old attacks distract from real progress under this administration. So before we dive deeper into why these security upgrades matter so much for the health of our nation, here's a quick word from our friends at myredlight.com. You've probably seen the clip of Joe Rogan sitting with Mel Gibson, talking about people close to him who went through serious health struggles and saw dramatic turnarounds. Rogan brings up red light-based therapies and how they impact the body at the cellular level. Gibson says it straight, this stuff works. And that got my attention because in my own life, I watched something very similar unfold. For a long time, my wife was dealing with constant discomfort and anxiety. One of those frustrating chapters until we tried red light therapy. See, the difference was real, and it gave us hope again. Check out what they offer at myredlight.com. Use NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles. Jonathan Otto and the team at myredlight.com, they're delivering results that people notice fast. Now back to the White House project that's restoring both strength and beauty to our capital. See, while critics scream about costs, President Trump laid out the exact breakdown in his own words. The ballroom itself is being covered privately by him and other patriots who love this country. Any extra dollars approved by Congress go straight to military needs and presidential safety in that hardened space. It's no longer optional after what we saw at the White House Correspondents Dinner. The fight is really about who decides if America gets to be safe and magnificent again. This is what Pritzker wrote. Donald Trump said his White House ballroom wouldn't cost taxpayers a dime. Now Republicans want you to pay $1 billion for it. They lied to your face, then left you the bill. So Pritzker claims the Republicans are sticking taxpayers with $1 billion ballroom bill, but his opponent in the gubernatorial race in Illinois, Darren Bailey, dropping the receipts on Pritzker's own $180 million tax break for his family's Hyatt. He writes, J.B. Pritzker's melting down over the White House ballroom is incredible stuff considering Illinois taxpayers shelled out $180 million for upgrades at his family's Hyatt hotels. And yes, that included a ballroom. And he posted this clip.
That's right, Marie. I'm told the average homeowner is actually paying about $700 more on their property tax bill because big commercial buildings like the hotel behind me, that's the Crown Plaza here in Greektown, got breaks on their bills. In this case, $14 million.
My tax bill had doubled. It went from $9,600 to $19,100.
Frustrated with rising property tax bills, you've heard from Cook County residents barely making ends meet, hit hardest by those rising bills. Meanwhile, commercial properties are getting millions of dollars in adjustments, a burden that's falling on those taxpayers.
It's $500 million shifted onto Chicago homeowners alone.
That's according to Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi.
Welcome, everybody.
Assessor Kagi joined by South and West Side community leaders calling for relief for homeowners, on average paying about $700 more, they say, because of those commercial adjustments.
For many other neighborhoods, the burden shift accounts for the majority of the tax bill increase.
To me, he described the break commercial properties are getting as a dinner bill, where homeowners are now forced to pay more than their share.
We're all sharing the dinner bill here in Chicago.
It's on the back of people who can least afford it.
Nidra Sims Fears leads the Greater Chatham Initiative.
So, Chicago jacking up the taxes, Pritzker getting his own tax breaks, Illinois homeowners getting crushed to fund those commercial breaks. Now here how Trump is handling White House fixes without sticking taxpayers with a full tab, while he destroys an ABC News fake news reporter.
We are here against the backdrop of the war in Iran. Why focus on all these projects right now?
You know why? Because I want to keep our country beautiful and safe. Beautiful also. This place was a disgusting place. It was Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and we had a terrible disgust. I don't know, you probably don't see dirt, but I do. And you walk down this pond, if you would have walked down, they'll tell you better than anybody. They had to take 11 or 12 truckloads of garbage out of that lake, out of that water, and it sat there for years like that. And that's not what our country is about. Our country is about beauty, cleanliness, safety, great people, not a filthy capital.
What is the status?
That's such a stupid question you ask. We're fixing up the reflecting pond to the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and you say, why are you fixing it up? Because you can understand dirt maybe better than I can, but I don't allow it. This is one of the worst reporters. She's with ABC Fake News, and she's a horror show. She's saying, why would you bother fixing this up? Why would I bother taking 11 or 12 truckloads of filth out of the water in front of the Lincoln Monument? That's what made our country great. Beauty made our country. People made our country great. A question like that is a disgrace to our country.
Wow. He torched her. Now, I was just in D.C. and I went to that reflecting pool, and it was disgusting. It was filthy. There was algae and grime and just green water. It was disgusting. I cannot wait to see what President Trump does there. It's going to be beautiful, crystal clear water. And it's going to look beautiful. The ABC reporter, unbelievable. So Trump calling out the ABC reporter for the dumb question on basic maintenance, and he spells out exactly how the ballroom gets paid without hitting the taxpayers.
Why should taxpayers now be on the hook for $1 billion?
Well, they're not, because that's for many other projects. That's for projects having to do with safety in a certain section of the White House grounds. That's not all for the ballroom. And we're putting up $400 million to do the ballroom section of the ballroom. We are putting that up privately. I am doing it along with other patriots that love our country. But they want to do certain things militarily with respect to the ballroom, having nothing to do with us or having to do with the safety of the president. So having to do with a lot of things, but we are going to have a safe ballroom. It's under construction. It's ahead of schedule. It's right on budget. It would be $300 to $400 million that we're putting up, and a lot of that money will be going to safety also. But the House approved, or the Senate approved, I guess, or they're looking at approving. I don't know if it got approved yet, but they're talking about putting up a certain amount of money having to do with security at the White House and the East Wing. Yeah.
Seems like common sense to me. See, the real revelation is that the ballroom was a hardened, secure event space built to fix a proven vulnerability, not some lavish personal indulgence. Trump is delivering private funding for the main work, while Congress backs the safety upgrades that keep the leader of the free world protected. Pritzker's outrage collapses when you remember his own family pocketed millions from Illinois taxpayers for an identical upgrade. America First means fixing what's broken, refusing to leave the president exposed, and never apologizing for wanting a clean, beautiful capital that reflects the greatness of the people. See, President Trump, he's keeping his promises, protecting the White House, refusing to let the old guard smear real progress. This is how you restore strength and dignity to America. So share this video right now so more people see the truth behind these attacks, and drop a yes or no in the comments if you believe these security upgrades are worth every penny. And that number on the screen right there, that's the secret number. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to join the hundreds and hundreds of patriots who are already bypassing the algorithm, getting direct updates from me to their phone when it matters most. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video for gear that shows you stand with America first. We're winning because we refuse to accept anything less than excellence for our country. So stay bold, stay informed, and we'll see you on the next report.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.